Alright, stream should now be up. Hello everybody, welcome to RPL Formula 1 Season 6, Round 9. It is the British Grand Prix, the home track of many of our drivers. I am today's commentator, Beatnik714. Unfortunately, our main commentator, Titan, cannot be with us today. So, I will be standing in. I would have been racing in the AlphaTauri, but I hate this track. So, I'll be commentating for you people today. Just a couple more minutes before we get going here, so here we are. There's no McLarens in here at the moment, which is very worrying, probably for Titan. In attendance news, according to the attendance sheet, Flynn, KVS, Kieran, Gecko, and SDZ will not be showing up. So, oh well for them. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, 2 points separate Mr. Joseph Loke and the Fake TV. Mr. Loke is not here today, so he's not here at the moment. So at the moment, still he's a little ways back. I don't know if he even ticked attendance. He's not joined the lobby yet. He runs third in the championship, and then we have our defending champion L74G that runs fourth. And then running out the top 5, we have Reese, who I don't think is racing today. Cryptic, he's joined in the Mercedes, and there is Mr. PSR Square, aka Joseph Loke. He will be TB's teammate. Towards the back, you got the Ferraris of DeChiller and F1X. F1X left, so he's not even going to be here. DeChiller in the other Ferrari, he runs 11th in points on 29. And we have Jack in a Red Bull today. Jack, he runs 9th in the title with 36 points. We'll see what they can do there. Polo God, he's in the Ferrari today. Polo runs currently 15th in points with 17 points. Of course, he's done most of this season in an Alfa Romeo. 15 have showed up so far. We have the Haas's of RPL Jordan and RPL Zakaria. Max Sills finally joined in the Mercedes. The 2 Ferraris are here. The 2 McLarens are here. And we got 1 Aston Martin so far. Bourbon Boy in the Aston. No teammate so far. RPL Egg in the Alpine. No teammate. Now he does have a teammate, being Stenner. 17 in so far. Of course, the 2 Ferraris, DeChiller and Polo God, they're here. The 2 AlphaTauris, QBR20 Term and L74G. Term, of course, filling in for what would have been me, but I don't feel like racing, so. We got the Alfa Romeos, JNT and QBR, Nico. And then the Haas's of Zakaria and Jordan, and no Williams. Neither Williams driver has decided to show up yet. And Payox has now joined in the other Aston Martin. So, we have 18 drivers so far. We'll see if any Williams drivers end up joining later on. But first, we will see what happens in Q1, and we'll see what happens in this championship. And here is the Constructors' Championship, looking very spicy. We have Red Bull leading the way with 227. 20 points back is McLaren in second place with 207. And then a long way back there, it's Mercedes, a good 60 points back on 146. AlphaTauri with a clear grasp on 4th place at the moment with 112. Ferrari run 5th with 62. Alfa Romeo in 6th place with 20 points. They've had a good season up to this point. Alpine runs 7th with 16 points, only 4 points away from the Alphas. Aston Martin run 8th with 14. And then in 9th, it's Haas, who have scored points in the last few races. They have 6, and then in P10, it's Williams with only 4. 2 points behind the Haas crew. And that'll do it for the race rundown, or for the championship rundown. As we wait for these guys to ready up. Alrighty, well, thankfully they're all readying up now, so we're going to be able to get going here. And we're going to be able to start qualifying for RPL F1 here at Silverstone, the home track for many of our drivers. It's time for Q1. The green light will be on any second now while everybody picks their tire allocation. And we have a green light. Qualifying is now underway. 18 minutes, it's Q1. We have an hour, pretty much, of running. And we'll see who will be the bottom 5 here in the first session. My prediction being the 2 Williams, the 2 Haas's, and I'll probably say QBR Nico. I haven't seen Nico race in, like, forever. And RPL Jordan is the first car to make it to the racetrack. And there's also the obvious chance that cars crash out and other cars could sneak their way into Q2. Always a possibility. As out comes RPL Jordan, the first one. He's using the Roman Grosjean number. Very nice helmet as well. Behind him, AK, who has Shithouse to Williams' seat today. He will be right behind him, and he is going off the track doing AK things. My team principal. Gotta say good things about him. And here's RPL Jordan on board. Well, don't spin it, Jordan. And it's Jordan, well, he'll be the first one to start a lap here. I'm going to have a look at the standings. Has Jordan scored points this season? Well, if Jordan has scored points in F1 this season, he's outside the top 20. He was the championship leader at one point in Formula 2, but unfortunately it did not develop to be a good season. He dropped to 6th place, and now he's out of F2 Season 11 contention. But we're in F1, and here comes RPL Jordan to start our first flying lap of the Grand Prix weekend. So let's see what RPL Jordan can do here. Let's see if he can keep it valid. Nicely done through turn 1. AK going fairly slow in Sector 3. That's why we have that yellow flag. We'll see what RPL Jordan is capable of. Good traction there out of that corner. I don't know all the Silverstone corner names. But this is the Wellington Straight. I know that for sure. Of course, he has the purple sector because he's the only one to actually do any running so far. Behind him, there is a Ferrari. I believe that's Polo God on an outlap. And I think AK has spun it. And yep, AK has had a moment. He has not done well. He has already spun it. Meanwhile, RPL Jordan, he's gone through cops, coming into Maggots and Beckett's. Really abusing that engine there as he goes through Chapel, now down the Hangar Straight. As he heads into Stowe, let's see what he can do through here. It's trying to go as fast as that Haas can take him. There's a moment in Sector 1, I think, or Sector 2. I believe that was a car getting out of the way, but RPL Jordan has kept this lap valid As he comes through the final corner, the benchmark time for everybody to beat, a 1:29.6. We'll see what everyone can do about that. Next car to finish a lap being Fake TB. As he comes through Maggots and Beckett's, let's see what he can do. Just keeping it on the racetrack there with those left side tires. It's a purple first sector for him, as we have a slow-moving car in Sector 2. I believe that's AK. And Cryptic's had a moment. Cryptic's crashed out. Cryptic has crashed out in what looks like the exit of Cops. Let's see if we can get a view of this with Zakaria, who's on an outlap, and there he is over there. Out. And we've had another moment. I believe JNT has spun it as well. He's gone very slowly there, as there goes his fellow Ferrari Academy mate. That is Pologod, who is also on a fast lap, as he goes through Beckett's and Chapel now. Let's see if he can get himself a purple sector. It is a purple second sector. 1:03.5 so far. Skyther, he's gone fastest so far. 27.1. I still don't know if that's how you actually say his name. Let's see what Polo can do here in the final few corners. Keeping it as clean as he can. As he comes out of the final corner, gets a bit loose, comes out of it, and it's a 27.4. 3/10 behind. Jack, he's on an outlap. Anyone else on a flyer? I believe Maxil, he's on a flying lap as well in the Mercedes. As he comes through Cops there, as fast as can be in the Mercedes, through Maggots Beckett's, getting on that sausage curve at the entrance, trying to keep it as clean as he can, puts a wheel in the grass there. 1:03.2 total through the second sector. That is purple. We'll see if he can keep it purple here. He's got some traffic up ahead, kind of missed the apex there into Stowe, and he invalidates. Missed it there. Missed opportunity. As Egg starts a flying lap as well. Meanwhile behind, or I guess ahead, PSR Square. I believe he's backed out of a lap. He's not, I think, is he using ERS? I don't know. I can't tell if he's backed out of this or not. I don't think he has. .103.6 in the second sector. There is a slow-moving AlphaTauri. Believe that is Term. Gets out of the way for him. See what Square can do. A few more corners. Into the Vale chicane we go. Got a Ferrari up ahead of him. I believe that is DeChiller starting a flying lap. Yeah, final corner. PSR Square goes second fastest in the McLaren. Solid lap there by Square. Only 6 cars have set a lap so far. Jack is on a lap now. Slight lift through Cops for Jack. He is on the medium tire. We'll see what he can do here. He's got a slow-moving Williams. That is AK. Might be trying to help his fellow Academy driver. Remember, AK is the team principal of the Honda Academy. So he will help his drivers as best he can. Gets out of the way. Skyther improves on his lap. It's a 26.7. Can Jack go faster than that on medium tires? Comes through the Vale chicane. What has Jack done? He has done a 27 flat to go P2. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Both Red Bulls on the medium tire. Very solid from them. Fake TB, he's on a lap. 1:03.2 through that second sector. Let's see if he can keep it valid and keep it clean. Keeps it clean through Stowe. Now into the Vale chicane. What will he be able to do? Quick, clean. As he comes through the final corner, It is a 26-9 by the fake TB. He splits the Red Bulls, who are on medium tires, and that's a solid lap. And PSR Square, I believe he's gone for another one as well. And oh, we have a moment there with Zakaria. I believe he has spun it there. Bourbon, one of the few who have not done a lap either. He is on one. And Maxil on an outlap. Payox and Stenner also on outlaps. I believe AK is also on a push lap. Let's see what he can do in that Williams. See if he can keep it clean. Keeps it clean through Stowe. Through the Veil chicane we go, and out of the final corner, AK does a 29-2, puts it P11 provisionally. Not bad so far. Kieran, he's on the Wellington Straight in the Williams. Egg pits, and here's Bourbon in the Aston Martin. His teammate has not done a lap yet. If Payox has, he's invalidated. And Bourbon goes 8th in the Aston Martin. How about that? A solid lap from him. And this could warrant L74G. He might have to go out again. Of course, he did his on medium tires. And I think he is also going for another lap. As he comes through Maggots, Beckett's, and PSR Square has set the fastest lap so far. And that's impressive. As there's a Williams that spun. I believe that was Kieran, who had a moment out of Chapel. Gets out of the way for everyone. And here's L74G. Can he improve on P9 here? He can. It's only by one spot. He beats Bourbon. And meanwhile, Maxil, the other Mercedes, has yet to post a lap time. His teammate crashing out in Q1. So that's one Mercedes out of the session. We'll see if Maxil can at least elevate that car into Q2 as the McLaren of PSR Square gets out of the way. What a save by Maxil. How about that? Pretty sure he probably pooped his pants there, having that moment. Almost crashed out in the same exact way. Cryptic crashed out, kept the car straight, and he has backed out of that one. Rightfully so. That was a scary moment for him. Meanwhile, Payox, one of the few yet to go. Let's see what he can do. His Aston Martin teammate Bourbon, he put it P10. Let's see what the other Aston can do here. He comes out of the final corner. It's a 28-4, P10, P11 for the Aston duo. Behind, well, of course, Maxil. I think he's going to try again here. He's provisionally gone P16, currently out of Q1. And RPL Egg, he's on a flying lap. Stenner, I've just realized Stenner went P5 in the Alpine. That's pretty solid there. Maxil in the first sector. Let's see what he can do here. It's a 27-4, 800ths down on his best, or on his only time so far. We'll see if he can keep it valid. He barely kept it valid there, out of left field. As he makes his way towards Cops, can he keep the car straight? It's a tricky corner. This time, he keeps it from getting loose. And this is a much better lap for him compared to the last time. Through Maggots, through Beckett's, through Chapel. It's a 103 flat. He's 6/10 up. It's looking good for Maxil to at least keep him safe from getting eliminated. Barely keeps it valid there. Through the Veil chicane. Keeping it clean. Short shifts to 4th. And he comes out of the final corner. 26-6. What a lap by Maxil. He sticks at P1. And that should be more than safe to get into the next session. Meanwhile, RPL Egg. He is one of two to not do a lap yet. Him and Zakaria. Let's see if he can get himself out of that bottom 5. Out of the final corner, he goes P12. He splits the Astons. And we'll see if that is safe. I don't know if it is. And the AlphaTauri of Term, he's backed out on a lap. I believe Zakaria's on a lap as well in his Haas. Haas don't get much TV time, so we'll give them some. As he comes through the first sector, he's yet to post a lap time. I believe the Ferrari of Polo God, he has invalidated and he has pitted his teammate on an outlap. And Death Chicken has joined, and Polo has decided that's enough of that session as he retires in the pits. And there's Zakaria trying to get what he can out of that Haas. It's probably not very easy for him. Haas is obviously not a very good car. Even though they run 9th in the Constructors' Championship, they have more points than Williams. They've managed to get lucky in a few races so far. Jack with a P9, notably at Baku, myself a P10 in that race after post-race penalties. And Haas have gotten a bit lucky, and team principal of the Ferrari Academy, Zakaria, trying to see if he could get some of that luck as well, as he somehow doesn't invalidate through the Vale chicane. Finally gets a clean lap. He beats his teammate, but not much else. It's going to be P17 for him, and currently in the bottom 5 still. As Bourbon Boy retires in the pits. The Chiller now on a flying lap. As he comes out of the Wellington Straight into Luffield now. In his Ferrari. Currently sat in P9. We'll see if he can improve on that position. As he comes towards Cops. I'm having a brain fart moment with these corners. And the Chiller has unfortunately invalidated. Out of Cops, he just went a bit more wide than he would have liked. And unfortunately, that is that lap done and dusted. There's a minute 30, so maybe he could refresh, reset, and try again if he feels unsafe, which I think he should be. 27.6 should be more than enough. We'll see if he decides to pit here. He's going to hit the brakes. Try and save some ERS here. See if he can go for one more push lap. Meanwhile, QBR Term, I believe he is on a push lap, and I think he's a 10th up in Sector 1. A minute left here in Q1. A number of the top guys have decided that's it and have DNF'd in the pits. Bourbon and Egg as well. We'll see if Egg is safe enough there in P12. Zakaria and Jordan, they're in the pits, so that's their session over. And I believe AK, or no, that was Kieran, I think. Kieran just put it P15. A solid lap by Kieran in the Williams. He's put that car to Q2 for now. Here's QBR Term though. Currently P7, should be safe, and he invalidates. And that'll be his session. He pulls into the pits. That's enough of that. Here's JNT Gaming. We'll see if he could. Oh, he is not pushing. That might be him done. He is done. He has backed out of that, and he is going to be out. QBR Nico, he should be safe. We'll see what AK can do here. He's really the only one left that could possibly push Kieran, his teammate, out of Q1. Can AK put that Williams into Q2? There's his teammate down there on the bottom of your screen. That's Kieran. He's going slow. Lets his teammate through. And AK invalidates. And he's, oh my goodness, he's had a big crash. And I think that'll do it, because JNT is not on a push lap. So, JNT, AK, Zakaria, Jordan, and Cryptic, the big shocker out of Q1 in the Mercedes. Of course, he crashed, didn't get a lap in. That is your bottom 5, and that is them out of this session. Kieran in the Williams just survives, and he will be in Q2 in that car. Not bad at all. Payox P13, he held on in the Aston. L74G, the defending champion, P10 on medium tires. Not bad at all. And I think that will do it for Q1. So it's Maxil, Square, Skyther, Fake TB, Jack, Stenner, Term, Polo, DeChiller, and L74G. The top 10 in Q1, and your bottom 5 eliminated once again. It's JNT Gaming, AK, RPL Zakaria, RPL Jordan, and Cryptic in the Mercedes, crashing out on his first hot lap. That's the big shocker. We'll see if there's any other shocks in Q2 in the form of big teams having crashes. And now we wait for Q2. Now Q2 gets underway. The two Haas's, a Williams and an Alfa Romeo, kicked out of that first session. Wait, no, yeah, two Haas's, Williams, Alfa, and of course the Mercedes of Cryptic. And now it's time for Q2. Who will be the first car out on the track? My suspicion says it's probably going to be Kieran in his Williams. And my suspicions were incorrect. That appears to be an Alpine. That is the Alpine of, I believe, RPL Egg. Maybe. No, it's Stenner. I'm dumb. And there's the Williams of Kieran, who probably shocked himself getting into Q2 in that car. As Stenner crosses the pit end. Crosses the pit line. And here's Stenner. We'll see if he could push the Alpine into Q3. He was in the top 10 in Q1. We'll see if he can keep it that way, as he is the first driver out of the pits. And behind him, of course, it's Kieran. I believe Skyther behind them as well. Skyther in the Red Bull, and we are migrating hosts, and Luke has left. What a chode. And I hope we don't get banned for me saying that. I'll see if I can invite him back. So while we wait for him to join back, we'll have a look at Stenner's lap. Or what will probably be Stenner's lap, as he furiously weaves to try and get some extra heat into those tires as he begins his flying lap. Off goes Stenner through the first couple corners. In a turn 3, then turn 4. I don't remember the name of this complex of corners. Someone in the chat could tell me. But we head on to the Wellington Straight now. That I do know. Stenner has yet to invalidate, so that's always good. Now he makes his way towards left field, through left field, and out of left field. Stenner trying to do the best he can here, as Leighton has left the session. Oh well. Through Cops here. Stenner shifts into 7th, lifts a little bit, keeps it clean through there. Does not abuse the track limits and get into validation. Through Maggots, through Beckett's, keeping it clean, and now he comes through Chapel. It's looking good at the moment. We'll see what his benchmark time is. Behind him, I'm assuming Skyther is going faster. But we'll watch Stenner complete his lap. As Jack also goes to start a flying lap on medium tires. Pretty sure he did mediums in the first session too, so those are probably old mediums as Stenner gets very sideways out of the Vale chicane, and he sets a benchmark of a 27.9. We'll see what Skyther can do here in his Red Bull as he comes out the final corner. 26.4. Solid lap by him. Behind him, it's the McLaren of Fake TB. Let's see what he can do as he comes out the final corner. Fake TB goes P2, not by much, only 300ths, but he is on the medium tire. Meanwhile, RPL Egg also coming out of the final corner, getting all sorts of sideways. It's a 27.9 for him as well, and he goes 3rd fastest. Behind him, that is an Aston Martin starting a lap time, and then there's PSR Square coming out of the final corner as well. Square goes P2. A very solid lap by Square. The Chiller comes out of the final corner. He goes 3rd. Polo comes out of the final corner. He goes 4th. 3-4 for Ferrari. Luke coming out of the final corner to start a flying lap. And here's Jack, who is on a flying lap as he comes through Stowe. Can he finish this off? It clean there through the Vale chicane, getting on the power as early as he can, out of the final corner, 27 flat, and it's a Red Bull 1-2. Next cut across the line would be Bourbon, who's starting a flying lap, and then there's Payox, who is on a flying lap, coming out of Cops into Maggots and Beckett's. Downshifts into 7th and then 6th, using a little engine braking in there as well, out of Chapel. 104 flat in the Sector 2 time. Trying to get everything he can out of that Aston Martin. Not the best in this game. Surely won't be the best when F1 2022 comes out. As he comes through the Vale chicane. What can Payox do here in the Aston? He will go 9th fastest, slowest of the runners, minus Nico's lap, who does a 28.7. L74G coming through Chapel now. 103.9, not too much quicker than Payox, I think. We'll see if he can keep up the pace here and see if he can have enough to propel himself into Q3. As Maxwell gets out of the way before he starts his flying lap. And across the line comes Luke. He goes 7th fastest. A 27.8 on the medium tires. At the moment, that is good enough. And now the big one here, it's Maxwell. He's also on the medium tire. Term on the medium tires behind him. And oh boy, Maxwell gets all sorts of sideways. I think that's his lap done. It is. He has backed out. Term, he has not backed out. Maybe he could get a tow from Luke. Luke will give him the best tow he can. He's going to gain about a 10th, maybe 2 out of this. Luke pulls out of the way at the final second. That was a nice tow for Term, thanks to his teammate Luke. We'll see what Term can do here as he makes his way towards Cops. Of course, the scene of a massive accident in real life between Hamilton and Verstappen right there. Let's hope we don't see any of that. And he goes wide, but he does not invalidate. That is very interesting. I don't know if that's in the rules, where you can abuse those track limits. Don't know if it is. I don't know, someone can take mental notes of it. It's a good sector time, 103 something. Didn't catch the end of that. But Term, he's been on a very good lap here. He's on mediums. He's going to try and get into Q3 here on those tires. And unfortunately, he has invalidated. What would his time have been? Would have been a 27.4, which would have been good enough to put him in P4. That is unfortunate there by Term. Unfortunate end to a very solid lap. Meanwhile, Bourbon, he's on a lap as he's going to come through the Vale chicane here. We'll see what he can do on this particular lap. Has yet to post a lap here in Q2. And now he has posted a lap in Q2. 27.6. It's P5. It's very solid for him. How about that lap there by Bourbon? Meanwhile, behind him, like literally just behind him, RPL Egg is on a lap, and so is, I believe, PSR Square. He's not pushing. As out of the pits comes Fake TV. As Egg comes down the Wellington Straight. Let's see what he can do here. 27.6, about half a tenth up on his best time so far, which is a 27.9, which puts him 9th, just ahead of his teammate, as you can see on the timing board on the left. As he comes through Cops here, we'll see if he can keep it valid. Shifts into 7th, does keep it valid. Very nice through Cops corner there by RPL Egg. Continuing to keep it valid, continuing to keep it clean. Looking very good here for RPL Egg. He's about a 10th up on his best time so far. We'll see if that Alpine can go any higher up the order. And he's invalidated, and he has pitted, unfortunately for him. And QBR Term has invalidated at the end of the last corner, which means this lap will not count. Unfortunate for him. Maxil, he's on a lap. He's on the medium tire. His best lap's been on the medium tire. And Jack, he's doing a lap on the soft tire. This is interesting here. His best lap's on the medium. Maybe he'd rather start on the soft tire. Of course, Silverstone, it's a track where the soft-medium strategy is pretty easy. So we'll see if Jack will prefer that soft-medium rather than the medium-soft. As he comes through the Vale chicane here, let's see what Jack can do in the Red Bull. They're 1-3 at the moment. Does he back out of it? He does not. They go 1-2. And it's looking good for Red Bull. 1-2 by about 0.2. And they will both be on that strategy. On that soft medium. Maxil, he has a 26.6 on the medium tire. It's a very solid lap. That's a really good lap on mediums. And he should be safe with that lap time, I would think. As he will pull into the pits. Meanwhile, Fake TB just behind him. He's on a flying lap, and he's on soft tires. Maybe he feels too much at risk on that tire, so he'll come through the final corner and be very much less at risk with a 27.001. That puts him 4th fastest, and that should be good enough to get into Q3. QBR Term in the pits. He's going to have to really hustle, get a set of softs on, and finish a lap without invalidating. One of the few drivers on a lap at the moment, that is Stenner. Stenner going through left field. We'll see if he can keep up this good lap. Currently, he is out of Q2. He's going to be eliminated if he doesn't improve here. So, I mean, if he improves at all, he will put his teammate out of the session, and he has invalidated. That could have implications for him. He better save as much ERS as he can to try again. Not too much time left here in Q2. 2 minutes left. As Stenner does invalidate. Payox, he is on a lap. Maxell, he's decided he thinks he's safe. I don't know, 26.6 should be more than enough to put him through the session. Meanwhile, we've had a moment here with PSR Square going very slowly. Him and an AlphaTauri going wheel to wheel. And that is an Aston Martin of Bourbon going through. Meanwhile, Payox coming through Luffield. He is currently in P12 and out. So we'll see if he has anything to push himself into Q3. And Kieran goes P13 of the Williams. Not bad at all. As Payox, we'll see what he can do. If he can keep it valid, that'd be perfect for his hopes. He's got one sector to go. Almost puts a wheel in the grass. Doesn't like how his lap's going. So he backs out of it, and he will have one more chance at improving on a lap. And Term, he is stuck in 5th gear. And Polygod has retired in 8th place. He's going to take the gamble on those medium tires and hope that everyone else does not eclipse his lap time. As Payox will try one more time, this will be his final time lap. And will it be enough to get him into Q3? He's got a 28.0. The cutoff is Egg with a 27.9. It's only 1/10. That's all he needs. Clean through that first sector as he makes his way towards the Wellington Straight. Looking good for him so far. And meanwhile, ahead of him, that is what appears to be an Alfa Romeo. I think, no, that's a Ferrari. That is a Ferrari of DeChiller, who is on a lap 2. Yellow flag, that would be Kieran going very slow. And DeChiller hasn't validated. His lap's over. Payox now, he will be the next one to cross the line. And will he have enough to push himself into Q3? He needs a clean lap here if he wants any chance. Through Maggots, through Beckett's. And out of Chapel, he keeps it valid, and he's about 1/10.5 up. This is looking good for Payox. Could this be enough to push him into Q3? Slams shut the DRS. That was terribly worded. Into the Vale chicane we go. Will this be enough for him? The Williams and the Ferrari get out of the way. Payox keeps it clean, and out of the final corner, it's a 27.9, and it's not enough. Payox will be out of Q2. Behind him, Term has invalidated. He doesn't get a single lap in. He invalidated all of them. So Term is out of Q2 as well. Egg, he's trying to get himself out of that bottom 5. Has he done enough? He has! And Polo God is out of Q2 now. Polo God took the gamble, staying on those medium tires, and it's not paid off. Polo will be in P11, and he will be out. And that's your bottom 5. RPL Egg pushing Polo God out of Q2. Polo on those medium tires in the Ferrari gambled. The gamble didn't pay off. And he starts 11th. He does have that strategic pole position, though. We'll see if he can use it to his advantage. But that will do it for Q2. Term, he's out. Didn't get a lap in. Nico's out. Alfa Romeo expected. But Kieran out-qualifying the Alfa Romeo in the Williams. Absolutely brilliant job by Kieran. That is amazing. Well done, Kieran. Making the Williams look amazing. They're P10 in the Constructors' Championship. They could use every bit of performance they got. And that'll do it for Q2. Skyther fastest, Jack second, Square third, Maxil fourth, TB fifth, Stenner sixth, L74G in seventh, Bourbon eighth, DeChiller ninth, and Egg pushing Polo out. He is in 10th. And as I said, Polo is out on those mediums. Payox is out. He improved his time, not his position. He qualifies 12th. Kieran, a very surprising 13th place for him in the Williams. That is very good. That's very good. Nico 14th. And Term in the AlphaTauri could not get a valid lap in. He is out in Q2, and he will qualify in 15th place. And that'll do it for Q2, as Q3 is now underway. And Q3 underway. First car out, it's L74G in his AlphaTauri. An L74G with the pinkest helmet I have ever seen in league racing. That's a very interesting design choice, Mr. Luke. I don't know. I don't know if you like men or something, but that's a very interesting design. Good for you, though. Good for you. I support it. Meanwhile, Skyther's behind. He's in that Red Bull. We'll see if he can put it on pole. Behind him, it is PSR Square, and then it's the Mercedes of Max Hill. So, the only two teams that got both their cars in were the McLarens and the Alpines. Oh, wait, never mind. And the Red Bulls. Okay, that's three. One Mercedes out, one Ferrari out, one AlphaTauri out, one Aston Martin out. And then we have the two Red Bulls, the two McLarens, and the two Alpines. Very interesting Q3 grid here. As the first one to start a flying lap will be Mr. Skyther. Behind him, it's Square. Vic TV, on an alternate strategy to everyone else, he has stayed in the pits. Very interesting call by him. As there goes Skyther in his Red Bull. Keeping it clean as he makes his way towards the Wellington Straight, and down the Wellington Straight he goes. And some of my schematics aren't up. He's done a 27.3 in the first sector. Out of left field he goes. And on his way towards Cups. Let's see, can he take it flat out? Yes, he can. He takes that completely flat out. Very lovely stuff there by Mr. Skyther. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That is a slow-moving Aston Martin of Bourbon. It's been a very solid lap from Skyther so far. Can he keep it that way? He's got the McLaren of Square trying to catch a distant toe. And we'll see if Skyther has done enough to hold on to P1 on this lap so far. Coming through the Vale Chicane, and he's invalidated it like a chump. Skyther, he does a 26.2. We'll see if that would have been enough. Square does a 26.5. Maxwell, 26.4. Luke, 27.1. And here comes Stenner. He does a 27.7. I swear, I saw someone spin. I guess not. Bourbon, he's going to come through. Stowe, he has backed out of that particular lap. He's on the medium tire. There's the Ferrari of DeChiller. Let's see what DeChiller can do here. He has not invalidated, and he's going to come through the Vale Chicane. We'll see what he can do as he comes out of the final corner, down the Hamilton Straight. DeChiller goes fourth, behind Luke. Stenner, he goes fifth fastest. Bourbon goes sixth on that banker lap. Skyther, he'll have to try again. He's invalidated again. And here's Jack coming through the Vale Chicane as he comes down the Hamilton Straight. Now he goes P1 by 0.3. A 26.1 by Mr. Jack. That puts him on pole position. Meanwhile, teammate Skyther, he has struggled a little bit here in this session. Does he pit? No, he will stay out and try one more time. Behind him, he's got Fake TV, who has just gone out for the first time in this session. And Skyther will try again here. We'll see if he can keep the lap valid this time. Clean through the first 2 turns, into turn 3 now. And quick and clean. Ooh, not very clean on exit. Got a huge dose of oversteer as he goes down the Wellington straight. He's got a 27.4 solid sector, and apparently it's purple. We'll see if that's true. As he goes through Luffield. Getting as close to the gravel as he possibly can as he makes his way towards Cop's Corner. Took it flat last time, and he takes it flat again. Easy, easy, easy. And now he comes through Maggots and Beckett's. Looking quick and clean there. DRS wide open. It's a 102.9 there in that second sector. As he comes through Stowe, this time it stays valid. And now into the Vale Chicane, where he did invalidate his lap last time. Does he keep it clean? Yes, he does. He will get a valid lap this time. And this time, it's a 26.3. Red Bull will now be 1 and 2. Behind him, TB goes 5th. And behind him, Square goes 3rd. Championship leader PSR Square going P3 in that McLaren. Very good by him. And like the only driver who is on a flying lap right now is Bourbon. We'll see if he can keep this valid or he backs out of it and goes into the pits, which he might just do. And he does. And he speeds in the pits for good measure. So no one on the track minus the 3 cars on cooldown laps. So, the action currently dying down in this qualifying session as Mr. Skyther runs out of fuel. And he's just throwing some heat into those tires for no real reason. And into the pits he goes. And he's not the only one. Square has also run out of fuel. He's run out of so much fuel, he can take Stowe flat out in that McLaren. Very good job by him. As he speeds into the pit lane. Meanwhile, the Chiller will be the first car out. Let's see if the Chiller could improve on his lap. He has a 27.5, which currently has him in P7. We'll see if he could maybe get past L74G and put that Ferrari in P6. Of course, one Ferrari out of it with Polo trying to gamble on getting in on the medium tire. Unfortunately, his gamble didn't pay off, and he got eliminated. Chiller decided not to risk it. And he went on and did a lap on the soft tires, which was more than enough to put him into Q3. And he is the only one out there at the moment, so it's all eyes on to Chiller. As he puts some heat into those tires, and I believe there's a few cars coming out now. That's a Red Bull and the Aston Martin of Bourbon. I would guess the Red Bull of Jack. No, it's the Red Bull of Skyther. So everyone's going to start to come out now, which isn't really good for the Chiller, because that means he could have a lot of traffic in his way on that flying lap. So if any of the racers are watching the stream right now, don't get into Chiller's way, or you're going to have a very angry Italian at the end of this session. But here we go. Here goes to Chiller. We'll see what he can do on this lap. He's got some traffic in his way. That is the two Alpines, Stenner and Egg. We'll see if they get out of the way here. And one of them does, but Stenner not really getting out of the way that good. That was, could have done that a little bit better. But the Chiller, the only one on a flying lap. The next ones would be the two Red Bulls as we approach the end of this session. As the Chiller, he'll come through Maggots and Beckett's, not even shifting into 8th gear. Almost loses the back end a little bit. He's almost 4/10 up on that lap. It's looking good here for the Chiller. We'll see if it's enough to maybe elevate him ahead of L74G. Keeps it clean. Out of Stowe. Into the Vale chicane. We'll see if it's enough to put him ahead of Luke's AlphaTauri. Out of the final corner. It's a 27-2, and it's not enough. And now, we turn our heads to the Red Bulls. Skyther, purple first sector, up 800ths. Jack, we'll see what he can do. He's just behind his teammate. Skyther trying to improve every bit he can to out-qualify his teammate. Time's up. These will be the final flying laps. What can these Red Bulls do to improve on their times? As Skyther going through Maggots and Beckett's, you wonder if Jack is picking up a bit of dirty air being that close to the Red Bull. The other Red Bull. He's up 300ths, Jack is. Just a couple hundredths. We'll see if it's enough to beat his teammate Skyther. They're separated by 2/10 on their lap times. We'll see if Skyther has enough here to bump himself ahead of his teammate Jack. Out of the Vale chicane we go, and out of the final corner we go. Has Skyther done enough? He has not! Jack has! 26-0 by Jack to put it on pole position. He has done enough. But could the McLarens or the Mercedes do anything? Maxwell can't. He's invalidated. Square coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. Could he do something about this? He does a 102.7. He's up a 10th. I don't think that'll be enough. We'll see if Fake TB could do anything about it too. Here comes Fake TB into the Vale chicane. Does he have what it takes to beat those Red Bulls? Maxhill doesn't. He had to pit. Here comes TB. It's a 26.7. It's not enough. Does Square have enough? No, he doesn't. Jack and Skyther make it a Red Bull 1-2 in qualifying for the British Grand Prix. How about that? Maxwell, it looks like he had wing damage. He could have gotten impeded, and that'll do it for him. And that is it for him. He will qualify P4 in the Mercedes with his teammate in P20. So, Jack on pole, Skyther in second, Square third, Maxwell fourth, TB fifth, and Stenner in the Alpine, sticking it ahead of L74G in his AlphaTauri. Chiller puts it P8. Bourbon just edges out RPL for P9, and the other Alpine in 10th. An entertaining qualifying session here. And who knows, the race could be even more exciting. According to Maxwell, he said he bottled his second lap, and his first lap was shit. So obviously, he's got more in that car. We'll see if he can improve on that P4 here at the start. And Mr. Loke says 10.7 wings are OP in his McLaren as he's stuck at P3. Championship leader would very much like to extend that lead at the top. Skyther, he's at 61. He will most likely overtake Reese for P5 and possibly L74G if he has a good enough race. I'm going to say possibly. I probably mean most likely. So Skyther, if he could pick up a victory here, that'd be very good for him in terms of the championship. And 2 points separating the two McLarens of Square and TB. It's a long race, and we'll see who can be leading here. It's a dangerous turn one. It's a medium speed corner, slightly dangerous. So we'll see if we have any incidents heading into the first corner. And here we go. The formation lap will now be underway. As you can see, 2 Red Bulls leading us off. So, my pre-race predictions. I predict there will be a Red Bull winning this race. I predict a McLaren on the podium as well here. They've been super strong this season. And only time will tell if Maxwell can get a good line into turn 1 and maybe pip Square for P3. We'll see if he can. And of course, Cryptic, P20 in his Mercedes. We'll see how quickly he can get through the field. We'll see if he can do a We'll see if he can do a Hamilton-esque drive through everyone, and win this race. See if it's possible. And yeah, poor Cryptic. That's what you get for crashing, I guess, in Q1. Polo God, P11, he's on that strategic pole position. He's on the medium tire, and I guess speaking of tires, we'll see who decided to start on what. Of course, Maxwell, one of the only driver to get into Q3 on the medium tire. And then it's Polo Payox, Term, J&T, and AK. All on the medium tires on that reverse strategy. We'll see if it pays off for them. Maybe some safety cars could help them along the way. And then we have Stenner. A very nice start for him in P6 in that Alpine. And then you got TB 5th. Maxwell 4th. The championship leader, PSR Square, in P3. And here we go. The drivers now making their way into their grid slots, and Cryptic will be the very last one. Jordan got disqualified for whatever reason. And here we go. Cryptic makes his way into his grid slot. And now it's time for the British Grand Prix. It's 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go! Skyther does not get away well. Jack does. Jack has a huge lead into turn 1. They all keep it clean so far. No, they don't. That's Jachilla around. There's a Williams around as well. That's Kieran. spins all the way around as far as the eye can see. And they're all gaggling up in the back. They're 4 wide there. That's a Haas, an Alpha, Williams, and Cryptic's Mercedes. He's up into 13th already. Zakaria passes Nico, I think, as well. Luke, L74G, losing a place to Stenner. And Bourbon making a move. TB and Maxhill going wheel to wheel through Luffield. They keep it clean for the most part. And some big moments there in the back. Does TB think about a move in a Cups? He does! And oh my goodness, I thought we were going to have a Hamilton Verstappen moment there. Luckily we don't. Maxhill stays ahead of TB for the time being. And DeChiller, the big moment there, spinning. It looked like he had contact there. And he has lost a lot of positions. He now runs to 19th. Meanwhile, at the front, it's Jack, Skyther, and Square leading us to the end of lap 1. Meanwhile, towards the back, I believe Cryptic getting past the Aston of Payox. He's made up 9 places on lap 1. How about that? Skyther, apparently he has the fastest lap at the moment. Maybe Jack had a warning of some sort, as Kieran will go into the pits. And TB goes down the inside. No, he did go down the inside of Maxhill there. Couldn't get it done. We'll see if he can get a switch back here. Loses a bit of traction. We'll see if he can close in. He'll use the overtake. And I don't think he'll be close enough. Not this time, as Cryptic behind gets past Bourbon. He now runs in the points. 2 laps, and Cryptic already runs in the top 10. What a start that was by the Mercedes. Meanwhile, behind, or ahead of them, TB still trying to close that gap on Maxhill. We will see if he can, as DeChiller overtakes JNT towards the back. As we have a very nice flyby of the field. Very nice flyby, as we do have an overtake happening. No, we do not. Cryptic thought of one on Polo. We'll see if he sends one. Does he send one in the Vale chicane? He thinks better of it. He'll sit behind the Ferrari just a little bit longer as Jack sets the fastest lap. We will watch Cryptic here for a little bit. We'll see if he can get past that Ferrari soon. It's all settling in here on lap 3. DRS is enabled now. We will see if Cryptic can use the Mercedes engine to his advantage. Won't be his advantage next season in 2022 in those cars. But it could be advantage Polo here. Might think about sending one on Egg, and he chooses not to. They all sit line and stern for just a little bit longer, and not too much going on up and down the field at the moment. We have TV still trying to get past Maxhill. He will have the assistance of DRS this time as Cryptic goes down the inside of Pologod at Cops. Very risky move by Cryptic. It's a shame I missed it. Maybe he can clip it and send it later, because beautiful overtakes are nice as Chiller passes Jordan. Can TB get past Maxhill here? This is for P4. And TB should have it here. He goes down the inside. He's cleared him before he gets to Stowe, and he has the place. Meanwhile, Cryptic, once again, thinking about a move at Stowe. Does he send one on Egg? He does not. And we have a crashing out. That's Kieran. And we have a VSC. Unfortunately, the good qualifying result means nothing, as he is out of the British Grand Prix, and now we have a safety car. Bit early for a pit stop here for these soft runners, so I had to assume that everyone stays out here. Cryptic, though. Wow. Many positions. He's gained 11 spots there in the first 4 laps. Most of them in the first 2. Incredible scenes by Cryptic. And he is on those soft tires. No penalties so far. And how about that? What a first few laps. The two Red Bulls have gotten the best possible start. They are 1-2. And then it's McLaren 3 and 4, Maxwell 5th, Stenner 6th, Luke 7th, L74G, RPL Egg in P8, Cryptic 9th after starting 20th, and Polo God P10. He has gained a spot. And DeChiller, well, poor DeChiller is all the way back in 16th. He has ground to make up. He's already passed a few, the two Haas's and the Alfa Romeo of JNT. Next up is AK. Term P12 after starting 15th. Bourbon P11 lost a few spots. He made Q3. And we will see if there's any takers here in the pits. Jack pits, Skyther pits, Square pits, TV pits. Top four all choose to pit. Maxwell, of course, he's got no choice. He has to stay out here. Egg, he pits. Polo God chooses to stay out. Cryptic chooses to stay out. Term stays out. Egg, Bourbon, Pit. AK, he will be staying out in that car. And DeChiller pits. JNT staying out. Zakaria, Jordan pitting. And now, what a shaken up field this is going to be. And TB's gone on to intermediates. TB has just screwed up his race. It's complete. It's bone dry out there. And the fake TB has incidentally thrown intermediate tires onto that car. You know that's a mistake. You know he didn't want to do that. And now we have an incredibly shaken up field. Now it's a Mercedes 1-2. Maxwell and Cryptic. Polo God runs third. Term fourth. AK fifth. JNT in 6th, then Jack, the first of those pitters, Square in 8th. Stenner has really come out as a winner in this one. He is net P3 in that car. And Skyther, he's lost out a bit. He's net P4. Luke's 5th, and, well, TB's going to have to drop all the way to the back to get a new set of tires, because obviously, you know, he did not want to throw intermediates onto that car. The fake TB, running P2 in the championship, has had a massive brain fart going on the intermediate tires. He's going for the Leon strat, and, well, I don't think it's going to work as he goes into the pits. Got to be careful on those intermediates. They won't have very good stopping power. And Payox, he doesn't like the hard tires strategy one bit. He will join TB in going to the back of the field. And Cryptic kind of taking a risky strategy by staying out. Wow. Amidst all the chaos there of that pit stop, TB incidentally went on inners, and Payox went on hards. Neither of them, apparently TB did not like the Leon strategy, and Payox did not like hard tires. So they dropped to the back, and now they must do what Cryptic did. Of course, Cryptic chose to stay out, oddly enough. Top 6, yet to pit. Jack leads Square and Stenner. And Egg overtaking Bourbon for no real reason. We'll see if they bring them in this lap here. And we'll see if, we'll see it. I mean, AK running 5th in that Williams. Only one DNF so far in this Grand Prix. I think they'll bring him in this time. see what the safety car does here. Yep, safety car in this lap. Maxwell will be backing up the field as much as he can. And we'll see if those Mercedes cars can get off to a flying start. And have a look at this. That's screenshot material right there. That is total screenshot material. Maxwell will lead us to the green flag. And Square's had a moment. Has Square spun? Square's got damage. What's happened to Square? Square's had a total moment in the back. Meanwhile, Maxwell's bolted. Cryptic will be P2. Polo third. Term fourth. We'll see what these guys do. I don't know what's happened there, but all of a sudden, McLaren have 0 points. Meanwhile, Term goes down the inside of Polo. They make slight contact, but they keep it alive. Meanwhile, AK doing incredibly goated things. He's 5th in the Williams. Probably won't be 5th for very long. Here comes Jack. He won't have any of this. AK taking a defensive position here. But Jack looking to hold it around the outside. Gets the switch back. Now he's going to hang it around the outside of Luffield. Lovely move there by Jack. He runs 5th. Skyther, he is in P7. Net P2, I believe, and L74G also in that net P. He's now on a net podium at the moment. AlphaTauri looking very strong. But at the moment, Mercedes lead the way, and Stenner is out. Stenner's crashed out. Square's on hard tires. It's all become an absolute disaster for the McLaren team. And it's a dream start for Mercedes. They got a 2-second lead over Polo's Ferrari, and then it's Term in P4, Jack 5th. We'll see if Term gets some team orders. And AK holding on to those points for a little while longer in that Williams. L74G is right there. Luke looks like he's going to send one into turn 3, which he does, and he will clear AK. And Bourbon sending one as well. He did not want to lose any time behind AK's Williams. And AK really using a lot of VRS here. AK wants to have a go at Bourbon. And he's going to try and hang it around the outside here. AK trying to do some goated things. Doesn't turn out to be very goated. He'll lose the place anyway. And now he's got to defend from RPL Egg, who won't like these shenanigans very much. Does Egg think about sending one? He does not. Thinks better of it. As Chiller trying to pick up the scraps of this as well. Egg is right there. AK making that Williams as big as a bus right now. Not making it easy for Egg at all. AK is going to hold the inside. And he's going to try and hold the place here. Egg's going to try and get that switchback, which he does. He kind of did. AK defending as much as he can. DRS now enabled. As Skyther setting the fastest lap. And AK is still holding P9. What is going on here? Egg trying to hold on to those points as best he can in the Williams. Egg not fancying a dive bomb into turn 3. But TB and DeChiller fancying a dive bomb on each other. DeChiller trying to take the position. Meanwhile, Jack up front overtakes Polo God. And now we head back to the battle with the Williams. AK trying to hold on to the place. It's just not going to happen. Egg pulls the switch back, and he has P9. And how much longer can AK hold on to that one little point? AK, he's going to hold the inside at Cups. Will that be enough? It will be. TB had to go off the track there to overtake Egg. not Egg, AK. And AK will lose his one little point, and now he's got a track limit penalty. Meanwhile, towards the front, Polo loses P4 to Skyther, and the two AlphaTauris run 6th and 7th. And now, it's the Red Bulls, the Mercs, Polo, and the AlphaTauris. Jack with half a second advantage over his teammate Skyther. They've been pretty much even the whole weekend. Polo trying to hold on to these guys on pretty old medium tires. Remember, they have yet to pit. They will lose a lot of time doing so. And Egg's had a moment. Egg has spun it. He has spun in turn 1. AK's back in the points. AK, just goated behavior. Lets his other rivals take each other out. Or just kill themselves, I guess. And, AK, he might have a penalty, but he won't care. He's got P10 at the moment in that Williams. Incredible stuff there. Term holding on to 6th. Luke is in 7th, using some ERS as well. Any other battles going on? Well, minus DeChiller and AK doing this. DeChiller will get the DRS. AK trying to defend as much as he can. DeChiller does not like that one bit. They do make contact going down the hangar straight, and DeChiller will take P10, almost losing the back end as well. Cryptic, I think at this point, he is banking on a safety car to help him make a pit stop. If this works for these guys, then Mercedes could very well win this race. They're running right next to each other at the moment. We'll see if Cryptic considers an overtake on his teammate. He's on old softs. I don't think he would. And meanwhile, towards the back, Egg spun again! He's out of the race? RPL Egg is out of the race. Is this what Mercedes need? It is. It is a safety car. And now the Mercs, they could pit. Cryptic can get onto his mediums. Maxwell can get onto his softs. And now they could very well get to the end of the race. 14, 15 laps. It's a long time on soft tires from Axel. And the rest of the guys that have not pitted in this race. We'll have a look at who hasn't. So, Maxo Cryptic, the Mercs, they've yet to stop. Polo Term, they've yet to stop. AK yet to stop. And JNT yet to stop. And the Mercs, you know damn well they are going into the pits. And they will. Skyther pits. Gutsy call by Skyther. He does pit. Polo speeds. Term pits. Bourbon stays out. TB stays out. Chiller stays out. AK will pit. Hayok stays out. Do the Haas's stay out? Jordan does. Will Zakaria stay out? He does not. JNT. He does pit. Thinks about it last second, and I could assume PSR Square will pit. And this will really shake up the field. This puts Bourbon's Aston in 3rd place, TB 4th, and DeChiller in 5th. How about that? They take the gutsy call on not pitting. Of course, the Mercs, you know they had no choice. Maxill's 9th, you know he had to pit. Skyther decided he's gonna risk it here. Skyther taking a gutsy call, pitting. Polo is in 11th. Cryptic is in 12th. Cryptic, he's at a very up race. Elected to gamble on staying out. Of course, he's now on the fresh mediums. Maxill, he's got to make softs last quite a while. I'm sure he could do it. It won't be easy, but I'm pretty sure he could do it. Payox, a solid drive, he's 7th. RPL Jordan in the Haas. P8, how about that? Of course, Fake TB, After his blunder pitting for the intermediate tires, he runs in fourth, which could turn it a P3 and P2 here. L74G, we thought he wouldn't see the podium again going into AlphaTauri. He's on the podium. That's just a Luke moment as Jack leads in his Red Bull. PSR Square, he has gone for softs. He's got a lot of catching up to do, and we'll see if he can start a late comeback drive to maybe score a point or two. The championship leader has not had things go his way so far. JNT doing okay, and Polo is dropping many positions. Cryptic pitted. Cryptic deciding to pit here. Very interesting strategy call by Cryptic. And Term as well. Term was another one who decided to pit. So it's going to be soft tires for Cryptic. He's decided to gamble on it. And now he's going to drop to the back of the queue. And Term, I believe, had to serve a 5-second penalty as well. And off he goes. Skyther and Maxil are overtaking each other. And RPL Titan has joined. Maybe I could join. Maybe I could get him into the party. I don't know. So Titan's back. I'll see if I'll invite him. We'll see if he would like to witness the end of this spectacle. Welcome, Mr. Titan, F1's main commentator. Welcome back. Hope you had fun. Make sure your audio's included. We don't want you to be muted. Welcome. We've had a very exciting race here.
Yeah, give me the rundown. Let's see what we got.
So, Kieran's out. He crashed early. Stenner and it's a double DNF for the Alpines, unfortunately. Not gone well for them. TB, first pit stop. He pitted for intermediates. He runs fourth. The Chiller runs fifth. You got RPL Jordan in P8. Skyther has gambled on a late pit stop. He's 10th. He's been running on the podium the whole race. AK was running fifth at one point. And Cryptic, he started last and worked his way to the top 10 in like 4 laps before Kieran brought out that first safety car. And he's gambled on a pit stop too. He's going to try and take softs to the end here, and we'll see if he can. Everybody's caught up, but the safety car will go through one more time. It's been an exciting one, and Bourbon runs third.
Well, crypto gambling on the soft tires, that is a very interesting strategy. I'm not sure if those softs can last till the end, but we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, he's not the only one. Maxil, he started on the medium tire, so he had no choice but to go onto the softs. They gambled staying out on the first safety car, hoping for a second one. Luckily it came. Luckily for Maxil. He's got a penalty now, unfortunately.
Yeah, he had a 5-second for apparently ignoring yellow flags. So apparently, I guess he must have passed someone under the safety car, and it gave him. I
believe him and Skyther were going with each other, so must have been that.
that is quite interesting. Mercedes and Red Bulls doing their usual scrap.
Yeah, it's just Mercedes and Red Bulls doing Mercedes and Red Bull things. We've not seen a Hamilton Verstappen at Cups yet, thankfully. In other news, RPL Jordan's in 8th. He's gambled. He stayed out on this safety car. Don't think he'll hold on to those points, but championship leader, PSR Square, he has had a shocker. He runs 17th.
That is very unfortunate, especially Square. He is the championship leader going into this race. Only has a 2-point lead over his teammate, TB. Well, like you said, TB is running 4th.
Yeah, I mean, TB's had a very interesting race. Like I said, first safety car pitted for the intermediate tires in bone dry conditions. I call it the Leon strat. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him. But it's worked out now. He runs fourth, and he'll probably get past Bourbon here.
Almost like a reverse way of what happened to Vettel in Turkey last year.
It was a total reverse, and it worked out for him. Safety car's in this lap. Jack is weaving like crazy, and you know L74G is going to do everything he can to hold off Bourbon. There goes Jack. It's going to be a 1-2 for Red Bull cars, and Jordan and Maxill have some sort of colliding together. Don't know what happened back there, but we're racing again.
They must have bumped into each other in Vale by looks of it, possibly. And
Meanwhile,
I think
Skyther and Maxill.
Yeah, I think Maxill might have damage from that collision, perhaps. Just taking a peek.
He has a big
yes, he
lockup.
does.
He's gone deep.
Yes, he does. Maxill has damage on the left side.
Oh boy, that is not good. It's all gone wrong for Mercedes in this race. It went so right at the start, and it's gone so wrong now. They're now both out of the points. Jordan being overtaken by Skyther. He still runs ninth. Polo and AK collide!
Oh, that was a very interesting note there. I'm not sure what triggered that. But I just noticed Polo going around, so maybe AK might have drifted up slightly and tagged Polo, or Polo turned in too deep and got tagged.
Oh, very unfortunate there. Polo just missed out on Q3 on a gambled strategy, and it's really all gone wrong for him. Meanwhile, that is Skyther overtaking Payox. Meanwhile, TB overtaking Bourbon. Around the outside, it's Stowe. This is going to carry on into the Vale chicane. Can TB hold on to it? They're really going wheel to wheel here. I think they made contact, and Bourbon trying to stay ahead.
Slight rub in between those two. Bourbon basically the reserve, and TB gets clear and goes up into P3.
Good move for TB. That's exactly what he needs, and squares out! The championship leader's crashed!
Square out in turn one. That is not good for him. As you said, championship leader out. No safety car noted. And Cryptic around in the Hangar Straight. In the Wellington Straight,
and
sorry.
that is a shame for him. He was another one of those who had a really good day going. Started last, made his way up to around P9, P10 before the first safety car came out. It was looking so right for Mercedes at the start, and now, how could it go more wrong than this?
I have no idea, but I think what probably happened with Cryptic was he was coming out of the loop, probably got onto the throttle a bit too hard on the curb, and that's what sent him around. Thankfully, no damage, Joe, but there probably is going to be a flat spot on those tires.
And probably very hot tires as well.
Oh,
as
Payox on the inside of Nico in Stowe.
Going wheel to wheel. See if Payox can hold on to that, which he does. Payox up into 7th place. Meanwhile, Skyther is trying to close in onto Chiller. He was one of those gamblers who pitted during the second safety car. We'll see if this pays off. He runs 6th. We'll see if he can gain any more spots. He's got the Chiller up in front of him in P5.
Now, I will admit, back to what I mentioned about with Payox and Nico. Nico, he's actually been doing pretty decent so far. This is only his second ever RPL race, and he's hanging on pretty well in the top 10 right now.
He hasn't done half bad. Got a little lucky with that safety car. Gambled on staying out, and Jordan also favoring from that gamble in the Haas, currently running 9th. Meanwhile, Skyther overtaking the Chiller for P5. His next target is Bourbon, and he is really closing in here. He's going to send one into cops. When I say send, I mean more of Bourbon just giving him the place at that point.
Well, Scyther is chewing up was chewing up that ERS just before cops. And that's how he managed to get clear of Bourbon. He was chewing up that ERS, and I'm on board with Scyther, and he's using that ERS again. So ever since the safety car, he's to now, which is like 2 or 3 laps, he's already used over 70% of his ERS.
And that is a lot. Zakaria joins the 3-second penalty club as Term overtaken RPL Jordan. That is for P10. We'll see if Jordan can hold on to that final point as AK and Zakaria going wheel to wheel. Haas versus Williams. Remember, Haas are actually ahead of Williams in that Constructors' Championship. AK gets a penalty. Term gets a penalty. Penalties everywhere. Zakaria sends one on AK. This battle's incredible, and it's for 12th.
And Cryptic sneaking in the nose on it too, and
oh, they crash! Oh, big crash! AK's out. And that's a VSC. It could turn into a full course safety car. Big off for AK, and most likely damage for Zakaria as well. I don't see anything, but it could be, I don't see anything visual. But it's a VSC, and it has no signs of turning into a full course. What happened there?
Well, coming out of the last corner, I did see Zakaria shove AK off the track, and then AK just got loose off the track, and then wound up hitting Zakaria, and the two just wound up crashing. Almost similar to what happened with Magnussen and another driver a couple years ago in real life.
I believe it was Magnussen and Albon, I believe, in 2020.
Yeah.
I remember that crash. I was a faithful Albon fan at that time. Very painful. But meanwhile, Jack leads Luke, and we are racing again. Luke trying to hold P2 from TB, and TB is being chased down by Skyther, who runs 4th. Bourbon 5th, DeChiller 6th. We'll see if anyone can overtake each other. Huh?
In terms of tires, Scyther does have fresher tires. His tire age is half of what the front 3 have.
I do remember that. Skyther, he did take that gamble on the previous safety car. He did pit, fell back to like 8th, 9th, 10th, and he's made his way up to 4th place. Solid drive through the field on those new fresh tires, really using them to his advantage, and we will see if he can maybe get past TB for a pretty good podium, and it would be a Honda 1-2-3 as Polo taking that final point away from RPL Jordan.
Now with Polo, by the way, this is his first race as a Ferrari, because last week, the person that was going to be in the Ferrari F1X after numerous bad weeks has had enough and left the league. Thus, Polo was thrust into being in the Ferrari.
Speaking of Ferrari, DeChiller's just passed Bourbon, and Skyther's just passed TB. And it's all happening here on lap 19. TB's lost the podium, Skyther's taken 5th, and Aston Martin are having the race of their lives, P6 and P7.
Those are definitely some nice points for the Aston Martin team. Bourbon, like I said, was a reserve. He was intended to be in Mercedes because Cryptic was at first not going to be in, but Cryptic is here, so Bourbon is in the Aston running for KVS.
And of course, KVS, he's not done much running this season, and you, as the team principal of the Mercedes Academy, I'm sure you're happy to see your Aston boys doing very well, but I'm sure it kind of disappoints you to see your Merc boys having a shocking race as Cryptic trying to overtake Jordan, who is just left due to lag. I'm sure it pains you to see them running so low down the field.
It is quite unfortunate, but if they can manage to scrap in a little recovery, they could at least try to scrap in a few points at this point. But so, like you said, it is starting to be a very difficult race for the Mercedes duo.
And I can't believe I'm saying this. L74G could be on to win a race if he could keep closing in on Jack. Luke in the AlphaTauri, we probably didn't expect him to be in any position to be winning races this season. But it's Luke. He likes to make magic happen, and here he is, potentially challenging for the race win in that AlphaTauri. Could he chase down Jack and maybe win this race? That would be something.
It would not be unusual, to be fair. Luke is the winningest F1 driver in RPL. I believe it is close to 40 he has. But Scyther is reeling in both of them. So Scyther, if he gets close enough to Luke, I think Luke is probably going to move over and let Scyther through.
And, I mean, I don't know if he will. I mean, Scyther, yeah, he is faster, but he is towing Fake TB right with him. TB's just using the DRS to help him stay really close. And, this battle for the lead could get very interesting here in the dying stages of this British Grand Prix. It's been a very exciting one. We've had 6 DNFs up to this point. Kieran dropped out early, and then it was Stenner, and then it was Egg, and then championship leader PSR Square, his McLaren dropped out recently, and then AK and Zakaria having a big crash with each other, both out of the race as a result. And
just got the
now,
onboard of Paulo and Nico. Paulo passing Nico on the old pit straight and getting himself in a P9.
I'm assuming could have been some Ferrari team orders in there. Polo telling Nico, hey, let me through. I am in the faster car, and you are in the slower car, my old car.
Ironically,
Polo, of course.
Yeah, ironically, Nico was actually fighting him. Crazily, he was fighting him. And
He tries to fight, but you can't fight Polo.
Well, speaking of
Luke's
fights,
had a moment. Luke's had a big
Luke
moment,
had a little bit of oversteer in the village.
Big moment for Luke, and now he could be in trouble of his brother car, Scyther, could be sending one. Does Luke think about letting him go, or does he try and hold track position? Choices for Mr. L74G. It's Honda 123. The other Honda car being termed back in 8th. He's not had the best of weekends so far. And it's a four-way battle for the lead here. And then all the way back, it's a very lonely race for DeChiller and Bourbon. They're just P5 and P6, and then it's even more lonely for Payox. But this battle for the lead is really becoming something.
Yeah, but the more that Luke and Scyther battle for P2, as Scyther goes on the outside and Stowe.
We could try and get the switch back here.
Yeah, but the more these two battle, the closer TB will be.
And the more they battle, the bigger chance they have of ending up crashing, which could somehow it could get DeChiller onto the podium. I can't remember the last time DeChiller had a podium, and I can't remember the last time he's been in the position to get a podium at this stage in a race. It's been a while.
Quite a while, I will admit. I'm probably thinking back to like the F1 2019 days is probably the last time he was on a podium.
And it's been a very long time coming for DeChiller. If the right things go his way, he could very well have a podium in this race. He just needs a little bit of luck. But at the moment, Scyther, TV, L74G, they're just not battling enough to warrant a potential DeChiller podium. Meanwhile, Cryptic, not Cryptic, Polo got in turn. They've been going wheel to wheel for a few laps now. And Polo, he makes contact. He's off the track. And oh boy, he is lucky not to DNF out of this race.
That was a very close call there, and Scyther down the outside and gets clear of Luke to get into P2. So it's a Red Bull 1-2 now.
And it's a Honda. It remains a Honda 123, and we will see if Mr. L74G can hold on to this podium. It'll be very exciting if he can. If he could hold on. And of course, TB, pretty much as long as he keeps the car out of the barriers and out of the grass, he will be your championship leader at the end of this.
So one thing I do want to mention,
race.
Since we mentioned about DeChiller, the last time DeChiller had a podium, Season 5, Round 4 in Spain, was the last time he got a podium.
So it's been a season. At least he has one in F1 2021. All it takes is a bit of luck, and you can always go a long way.
GB on the outside of Luke in left field.
Is TV going to hold on to it? Oh boy, they are wheel to wheel. Who's got more ERS? It's TB, but Luke trying to use everything he's got. They're gonna go wheel to wheel here into cops. Oh, I just had PTSD. Luke stays ahead, and all this battling has pretty much allowed the Red Bulls to skip off into the distance, and the safety car cutoff is pretty much now. I don't think we're going to get a safety car for the rest of this race. I don't think it's possible, as TB will go by Luke.
He's good, yeah. TB put up a really good fight, and unfortunately that fight with TB has cost Luke a lot of his ERS. He's close to 10%.
And it's also cost TB a potential chance at battling for the victory here.
Another cops battle, Term and Cryptic. Still battle, I'm
trying
sorry.
to continue that comeback drive. Poor Cryptic. He has had a big up and down race. It was all ups at one point, then he became all downs. It's been a very interesting one for him, but he now runs 8th after starting P20. It's been a solid drive for him, and it's also been very solid for the two Aston Martins, who kind of just been existing in the top 10. The Chiller and Bourbon are all by themselves. And the battle between Polo and Term continues to rage on. Polo, after having a big moment out of the exit of left field before, he's gonna think twice before sending one around the outside. This time he stays back. There's only 2 laps to go here, so he doesn't have much time. And I may have to direct my attention back to the battle for 3rd, because Luke has caught TB again.
Yeah, Luke is just harassing the heck out of TB, trying to get him to lose his focus, trying to make a move on the inside. Oh, that was very close.
That was too close there. Luke will stay behind TB for the time being, but there's one more lap to decide the British Grand Prix. Skyther and Jack. It started with a Red Bull 1-2, and it looks like it's going to end with a Red Bull 1-2, but which order? Because Skyther has really been closing in on Mr. Jack. Don't hit each other, boys. Let's try and bring it home. Skyther, he's got 20% ERS. Jack has more than him. I think Jack could be able to hold on to this. Meanwhile, behind them, Luke is too far away to send one.
It'll be interesting if Jack does win. He is P9 in the standings right now. Scyther P6 in the standings.
And then the battle for P9 continuing to rage on. Term just trying to hold on. And oh my goodness, this battle's also been equally as amazing. And the battle, there's so many battles, I can't keep track of them.
I'm keeping an eye on the battle for the lead.
Jack and Skyther are gonna go wheel to wheel here. It's all come down to this. It's the hanger straight. It's the last lap. We're coming into Stowe. Here comes Skyther. He's going to try go round the outside. He's going to hold it.
Yeah,
Does he keep it clean? They make contact, and they stay alive. And Skyther's done it. He's gone round the outside in the final corner at Stowe, and now he comes around the final corner, and Skyther wins the British Grand Prix. What a race! Woo. I have no breath left.
That was monumental. Very strong, very risky move by Scyther, but he made it work and stick. Scyther, what a win.
What a victory by Scyther. He wins a magical race. The gamble to pit during that second safety car pays off, and he wins. Jack second, completing the Red Bull 1-2. TB rounding out the podium. Luke a solid P4. Bourbon getting past a Chiller for an incredible 5th place in the Aston Martin. The Chiller P6, solid drive in the Ferrari. Payox completing a fantastic day for the Aston Martin team. Cryptic P8, it's been a solid comeback drive for him to come from dead last. Term P9, and a point for Nico.
That was very nice. Very
what
nice.
What a race!
You know, I joined late, but It was worth it just to catch that second half.
That was a very exciting Grand Prix, I will tell you, Mr. Titan. Thank you for joining me in those final 6-7 laps.
Roughly 10, probably.
I don't know. I can't keep track of anything right now. That was brilliant. A slight American bias with me and Skyther. Brilliant. The American wins the British Grand Prix. I'm sure that'll piss off everyone in the chat. And how about that? Skyther takes it, and
I'll probably will to bet later on.
I don't know who to give driver of the day in that one.
I'll probably
There
will
were
to
so
bet
many worthy candidates.
probably a British driver will win the USA race.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's their way of getting payback for the American winning today. And not only that, he won and he got fastest lap. The only thing he missed out on was pole position. A fantastic race.
In my opinion, if I had to pick a driver today, this is also my opinion, I'm gonna give it to Cryptic. Start dead last, crawled up to P8.
P8.
I mean, P8's not that good in Mercedes, but to get there from last, it's good. It's a good recovery.
It could have been way better for him. He did run P2 at one point, but unfortunately, just didn't come to fruition. Had a spin late on. Came back to finish 8th. Solid drive for him. And my American bias is giving driver of the day to Skyther, just because, 1, American, 2, that safety car gamble. He was in the tail end of the top 10 at the end of that safety car. Came back to win it with a last lap pass. And that's why he's my driver of the day. What a race. Any final thoughts, Mr. Titan?
Well, I do have one thing I will say. I know the chat might be thinking 2 Americans in the commentary box might be a little off, but get used to it for the next 2 weeks for F2.
And I think it's American all around. We have American commentators and American winning the race today. It's all coming American here in RPL. America tax is real. Well, and that'll do it.
Yeah, that will wrap it up for us. But just to bring up some notices, Friday, April Fool's Day, F1 Tier 2 finishes their season racing at Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. Now F2, we were supposed to race in Monza today, but because F1 Quali got involved in it, it got pushed to next week. So that's what will happen there. And F1 next week, we're going to Hungary.
It's an exciting time here in RPL. The championship is wide open for everybody. And make sure you join us next week for all those thrilling installments of RPL, as Titan said. And for Mr. Titan, I am BeatNix714 signing off today. Make sure you join us next time.
And I'm